Welcome to the King Arts Complex first virtual First Tuesday Tea. You are in store for a treat. We have Mr. Carnell Willoughby, who's going to do a vegan.
I'm going to do two dishes. One is a power shake, and the other one is curry mushroom lettuce wrap. So quick and easy. You can prepare them under 20 minutes, and I think you'll be pleased with the taste.
So we're trying to bring some brightness to kind of chaotic time. So sit back and relax. And I'm going to let Carnell take it off. Also, I want to thank the Isabel Ridgeway Foundation for their generous support of this program.
All right. At this point, you can give Ms. Lynn Grimes a round of applause. Absolutely. And for having me, it's my pleasure to serve. Part of my self-care is making sure that I serve the community some really great and nutritious food. So I'm not quite certain if you have the ingredients list, but I'm going to run through them. I want to be strategic in setting them up in front of you so you'll see exactly what you're getting, what's going into the dish itself. And I'm going to start from right to left, my right, more than likely your left. And we have coconut milk. These are all the ingredients that's going to be in the lettuce wrap, the curry lettuce wrap. So we have coconut milk, we have olive oil, which I already have in my handy dandy squirt thingamabob. We have curry powder, but it's not your ordinary curry powder. This curry powder is from Trinidad, and it has a richer and more balanced flavor. It's not as ground, not as a ground flavor as like an American curry or Indian curry. It's a very, very balanced style. So you won't have the grit in the ground that you would get from a usual curry. I believe in fresh garlic. There's nothing wrong with store-bought garlic that's in water or oil. But I get my garlic bugs, I peel them down, and I put them in my processor. The fresher, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Allspice, you can't go wrong with allspice, because why? It's allspice. That's what I'm saying. Sea salt. The best salt there is, and you can use sea salt, Celtic salt, or kosher salt. They all pretty much are much better than your ordinary table salt, which pushes your pressure up a bit. So I'm going to get started in doing some prep. If you have any questions, more than likely they'll be online. And chances are someone else will gather those questions and we can do a Q&A after the fact. So I just want to get prepared. I hope everyone can hear me pretty good. And I hope everyone is staying safe during this COVID season. I would have my mask on, but I want to make sure that you hear every word that I say. And I don't want it to be all muffled and be like, what did he say? I can't hear him. So we're going to get started with this. This particular recipe shouldn't take no more than 10 to 12 minutes. And that would include your prep time as well. So, and I wanted to make it super simple. So we have portobello mushroom cat. And you need like a cup and a half of the portobello mushroom cat. You can use, I'm a fan of portobello. You can use the buttons, you can use oyster, you can use, there's shiitake. There's quite a few other ones that you can use. I use this one because it has a whole lot more body, it holds flavor more, and it gives it, a meat kind of substance. Onion, tomato, more so as a garnish, you can put over top of it. And I have some green onions as well as more of a garnish to pretty up the plate. All right, so I'm going to start with, and I'm sorry, I do the button lettuce. I mean the button lettuce. I use the butter lettuce. I'm sorry. It has a buttery flavor. It's a little bit more greener than some other lettuces. It has it has more nutritional value, and it's a much better taste. Now, mind you, I usually get the leaves that's a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to have to do is put a couple of leaves together, slide them on, and and chances are you're going to have to you're going to make this kind of an open face, and make a mess with it by all means. The messier the better. I think it's a whole lot more fun when you are messing with your food. I think so anyway. All right, let's get to chopping. I have a strange knife here. These knives were made in Taiwan. I like how light they are. They're big enough to chop. They're big enough to chop big vegetables or fruits, and they're easier to handle. I don't mind a chef knife, but I love these knives. So you're going to rough chop these in a nice little square. Calls for a cup and a half. 1 quarter of a mushroom cat usually equals about a cup and a half. So I'm going to slide them inside here and move these out the way so you can see a little bit more. So you have your cup and a half. Onions, I like to small dice them. Not everyone's a fan of onions, but I love them. The people that I'm talking to don't love them as much because they have a beautiful and unique smell. And again, I hope everyone's able to hear me. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, small dice these babies. Slide them in here, like so. I like to get all the prep out of the way before I really get started. That way I don't prep, I'm not prepping as I go. You want a small dice. I chose a Roman tomato, but you can use any other tomato that you like. And I don't know if I mentioned that my company is a vegan company. It's called Willoughby Soul Veg, all plant-based. And I think this might be my second or third time, with fourth time, Tuesday tea. The last time was in the Pythium. Might be the third time? Yeah. I think the last time I was in the Pythium, I had my son with me, who looks so much better than I do. All right, small dice. So, coming into my right, your left, as soon as he is ready, it is my illustrious baby brother, goes by the name of Malik Abdullah Willoughby. He is the other half of Willoughby Soul Veg. He conceptualizes and challenges me on doing dishes and being more cognizant of the nutritional value that goes inside the dishes that I serve to people. So he's going to assist me. He's going to hit you with some fast facts. He's going to hit you with some good nutritional value. And again, Malik Abdullah Willoughby. So you can give him a round of applause by all means. I always do. When he's not around, I still clap for him. I love him.
Give it up for my brother Cornell Willoughby. Honestly, I didn't do anything but feed into who he is. So of course, his light had to shine in this way, and in this way is, of course, another extension of love. Everything, the primary ingredient in Willoughby soap veg is
Love.
that is the primary ingredient. So yes, that's one way how his light shines, and a multitude of reasons as to why we had to, of course, extend what we do in with this business model to the community to make sure that we are eating healthy and that we are extending our lives and having quality life, you know, as we extend our lives. So just a few fast facts. I did want to share a couple of things. I ran in, I had to grab a blender and blah, 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 on with the day job. What I will say is that there are some foods that I know my brother will be working with today. And one thing that we were discussing was foods that help with cognitive decline. So your dark green leafy vegetables. I see he has kale here, which is wonderful. And in the freezer, not on the table, so berries help with cognitive decline, helps with good brain function, but blueberries in particular. Also, I know he's working with, you got turmeric in here somewhere?
Turmeric is in the curry itself.
So he has this turmeric in the curry, curcumin that's in there. It helps with brain function, antioxidants. You know, it extends our life in a completely different fashion. It's one thing that is known as a super food. It's a super food. So as we look at some of those things, so we're vegan, which means if it has eyeballs, we usually won't have anything to do with it. If it has a mama, we don't have anything to do with it. However, there are other foods that may help with cognitive decline. That especially if you eat eggs, eggs one. The other would be fatty fish like herring, salmon, thanks, trout, anchovies. So there are a list of fatty fish. You can look them up, but they also help with cognitive decline. Things that help, of course, extend the life of one of our most important and valued organs, and that's our brains. So he's working with a whole lot of things. He has ginger here. So ginger helps with things like inflammation. It's also a wonderful oats. Oats is good for heart health. So there are a lot of things that he has here that's going to help in terms of extending our life, but they're also really, really tasty ingredients once you begin to put them all together. So he's done a couple of things today, and I'm pretty sure he's already showed you because I'm late to the party. But he's done a couple of things today, and one of them is going to be the lettuce wrap, and the other is going to be smoothie. So if he hasn't, I'm pretty sure he's walked you through all the ingredients. So I just want to make sure that I'm not being too redundant and that I'm being more an assistant in this capacity than anything else. So, anything else you need for me to share?
Not that's it. Actually, I don't know if I ran through all the ingredients for the shake. But yeah, I think we picked those the ones that I knew to go over for this hour before. So, is that ice machine?
I'm sorry?
Ice machine?
And one thing I will say, oats. So he has 100% whole grain rolled oats. One thing that's important to stay away from are a lot of processed foods, believe it or not. Some of the things that we don't consider or may not think are processed, but if you run across, let's say, some of your breakfast foods like oats, and it may say maple brown sugar, or it might say apple cinnamon, and some of them sound really healthy, and sometimes they'll have natural on it, it'll have organic on it, and it all sounds fantastic. But what you want to do is go for the basics, especially whereas your ingredients are concerned. As far as these ingredients are concerned, as I'm looking for them, all this says is organic whole grain oats. Organic whole grain oats. oats. I want to say this comes from Kroger. So you know if it's not organic when that list begins to increase. And when you look at those things and those hot cereals or some of those cereals, even the cold cereals that are supposed to be healthy, the more processed they are, the more ingredients they have, especially when you start looking at the amount, the grams of sugar and fat and sodium, that's when you know that you're getting further away from what would be considered a whole lot healthier, a whole lot whole, but sticking to the basics. So the basics takes us a whole lot further if we have that understanding. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention those things. So I didn't see this here, but I thought I'd just say coconut. So this is coconut milk, coconut in general, even coconut water. It's better for you than, let's say, any fitness drink that's out there. So you want to consider putting back into your body what you lose, especially when you're active. If you're a walker, or if you're active in any way, coconut, again, it's an incredible food source. Whether you eat it whole, whether you drink coconut milk or coconut water. So very high in minerals, especially manganese. So these are things that you want to consider having and putting in your body. Coconut, it's not on the table, but coconut and banana, extremely high in potassium. So these are the things that we want to put into our bodies and put into our bodies on a fairly regular basis, right?
Absolutely. So we're going to start the process, the cooking process, which usually shouldn't take no more than 7 minutes or so. And we got my handy dandy. I hope everyone can see okay. All right. So we start with a tablespoon of olive oil. So we're going to start cooking down the onions before I put in the garlic, because I don't want the garlic to roast, and that's for another. That is for another recipe. I want to make sure it's nice and fresh without it being too roasted.
Nice. Got enough?
We're going to cook the onions 2 to 3 minutes until they become translucent. In other words, until they become what do you call it? See-through. Pinch of salt. We're going to add a little bit more salt later for taste.
A couple pinches of salt, but not too much.
And just the onions alone have the room pretty fragrant. And as soon as I put in this garlic, it's going to be even more fragrant. So we are almost there.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
So one thing about salt, salt adds a whole lot of flavor. What I will say is once he begins to add the other ingredients are going to add to the flavor profiles, which if you want to avoid the salt, you absolutely will avoid the salt without losing anything on taste.
All right. So we are pretty much translucent right here with these onions. In other words, they are kind of see-through. So you want to add the portobello mushroom to a good, healthy tablespoon of garlic. I love the And your heat should be at a medium high. I had it sky high for a minute.
You said those are mushrooms?
Yes, portobello mushrooms.
Portobello. Can you add any kind of mushrooms?
Yes, I mentioned that earlier, but you can definitely add any other mushrooms. The reason that I chose these mushrooms mostly is because of the meaty substance. I mean, the meaty texture that it gives. It holds flavor a whole lot more than some of the other mushrooms. And then mushrooms are filled with water, so it absorbs all that you put in it. It's one of the biggest reasons why I chose this recipe, because I am a huge fan of curry. And this curry in particular is from the Caribbean. I mentioned it earlier. You cannot get it anywhere. If you want to find this curry, by all means, hit me up as far as the Q&A goes. Bum, bum. I think we're almost there. Well, I'm back on. Yeah. All right. Mix those flavors well. And afterwards comes coconut milk. We're gonna cook it down with this coconut milk. And we're gonna give it a nice little coconut milk in there. Let it cook down a bit. Turn that fire down a bit, let it simmer. Oh! Last but not least, allspice. Allspice is a combination of spices. It is widely used in cooking, Indian cooking, African cooking, American cooking, and Caribbean cooking as well. I love allspice with an actual pungent spice because it gives such a great balance to the dish. All right. We are almost there. And again, it usually doesn't take this very long. You get the prep out of the way, your cook time is somewhere between like 5 and 7 minutes. Letting this cook down, and I wish you were in the room. It smells heavenly.
I posted it.
I'll say something.
Absolutely.
To agree. I don't know if Cornell talked to you much about either allspice or the mushrooms. The mushrooms actually help boost immunity. And the allspice actually helps kind of with bloating and gas, which is really good, especially when you eat foods that are high fiber. You gotta maintain eating foods that are high fiber, but of course there are a couple of drawbacks like bloating and gas. So things like allspice help with that.
Just for taste. All righty.
Classic.
And again, I want to thank the Kingdoms Complex, Lynn Grimes in particular, for having me back. I love this legendary building. I live in the area. And I think programs like this enriches this area and enriches the people that are involved. So by all means, it'll be good for you to at least check this out and any other virtual program that takes place after the fact. This is a very unique season that we're in, the COVID season. It's the backdrop on top of protest. So by all means, be safe, stay safe, and keep continuing to support these programs. I'm gonna give this a taste to see if I need a little bit more salt. And I do, just a tad. Just and another. All right. Let's give this a mix, and we should be good to go. I think we are good to go. All right. I'm going to slide these on. That's pretty. We're going to slide the mix on top of the butter and lettuce. Hit them with some diced tomatoes. Pretty up this plate a little bit. Chill. Yes. And it's okay to talk to your food just before you eat it, you know what I mean? And let the food know that you appreciate it and that you're going to yum it up. Yum, 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 yum. Tasty.
Can I actually get a little closer so they can see the colors?
Why not?
So without coming at you too much in 3D, look at the colors there. Isn't that beautiful? Nice. And it smells incredible. Yes, yes, yes.
So I'm going to take the time to clear off this. And we are going to get ready for this beautiful power shake. Shake, 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 shake.
And when it comes to things like shakes, you really don't need too much in terms of anything fancy. A basic, I do mean a basic blender will do it. Juicing is great, but if you have, let's say, certain fruits that have a very, very high water content, let's say watermelon. So you can take whether it's a quarter cup or a quarter of a watermelon, drop it into your blender, let it go on, at least 60 seconds or more. Trust me when I say it ends up being a nice juice that you can preserve. So it still maintains that consistency, a very watery consistency, and it's really refreshing as they are in season for the summer. And watermelon again is very close to what you can considered a superfood. The only thing you have to be cognizant of and making sure you understand is just, again, even though it's fruit, it still has a fruit sugar in it. So things like that. And even though we're not working with watermelon today, that's just an example of how to use the blender when it comes to sugar. So did you already run them through all the ingredients?
I didn't, so.
No worries.
What I do have, even though sugar halfway
Okay.
which is good.
We can mention those sometimes.
It's in the ingredient.
You have everything you need right now.
Banana, blueberry. I'm not going to go back to that. Banana, blueberry, peach, and I'll be right back.
And we talked a little bit earlier about banana and blueberry. So if you're just joining us, we were talking about foods that help with cognitive decline, healthy brain function. A couple of those foods we're having the ingredients today. The dark green leafy vegetables, things like kale, spinach. Today we have kale. Also turmeric, which ginger helps with inflammation. It's also a great food that helps with joint health as well. We have oats here. Oats, very good for heart health. So he's going to go grab, I want to say, the blueberries. Blueberries make the list. They're high in terms of foods that help with cognitive decline or healthy brain function. So berries in general are great. Blueberries are very high on that list in terms of the berries that help with cognitive. And he's grabbing some bananas. Bananas give your smoothies fantastic consistency. Also, when it comes to things like bananas, once you blend it, and when you mix it, it mixes well to make for a sweetener. So even if you're not going to, let's say, use table sugar, you can use, quite often, even in baking, you can use bananas. And they're extremely high in potassium. So that's the other important key about some of these ingredients that we'll be using for the smoothie. And he is on his way back. We had to make sure we kept some things cold. Yogurt? So this yogurt is not your traditional yogurt dairy product. It's made from almond milk. However, it still has live cultures in it. So one of the cool things about that is it's two very cool things. One, gut health. So yogurt is really, really good for gut health. But also, the live cultures in our bodies, we have good and bad bacteria. This helps with the good bacteria. So this helps with the bacteria that we need in order to sustain ourselves. So he stuck this one in. So yogurt is really, really good. Again, not only for the smoothie, it helps actually make it nice and smoothed out other than the banana, but it also, again, helps with digestion, it helps with gut health, and the good bacteria, especially in fending off the rat. Nice. That's an old blender.
All right. So, again, this takes no time at all, especially for a power shake. I wouldn't consider it a replacement shake, but it is nutritionally dense, as my brother more than likely had given some details on, which is really, really good. It's good to have him. Give him a round of applause. Give me some more applause. And show him all the love. Send money to his Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. All right. So, all right. We are going to start with the base. The base is the yogurt, the plant-based yogurt, that is. So, all these items you can find at your local Kroger. All except for the curry. The curry is a specialty item. Any Asian market has it. There's a huge market called Saraga. Saraga definitely has it. But you can find like a curry at your local Kroger. It's a Blue Mountain curry, and it's a Caribbean curry. It's made out of Jamaica. It's almost as good, but not as good. I have to say that because I'm partial to it.
And we have the almond milk based yogurt. What we didn't bring today is protein powder. So you can also add protein powder, which of course the building blocks, those amino acids that are extremely important. Our muscles atrophy as we age. But of course, the more active we are, coupled with the things that we put in our belly, because health is made with, just like our abs are made in the kitchen, we have the opportunities to create better health by just learning more about the nutritional profiles in foods that we want to eat. So no protein powder, but again, the yogurt, the almond-based yogurt is a great addition.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Thank you for being here.
Then are you on the feed for questions? Can you see all the?
Do you have any questions? Okay.
No worries.
The only question so far was what the name of your restaurant was.
Willoughby Soul Veg.
So you might want to spell it all out.
WILLOWBEEZ, Soulveg, SOULVEG. Check us out on all the social media platforms, IG and Facebook. We also have a landing page, so WilloughbySoulveg.com. It's a very little activity right now, but still go to it to see what's up and coming. But for anyone that is tuning in, thank you for tuning in. And again, I have to say thank you for supporting this program. It's actually a huge program here at the Keynote Complex. A lot of participation. So, and that circles back to some of the leadership here. So, I want to give it up to Lynn Grimes once again. I think that might be the third time, but I read something somewhere that says, if you don't thank the people, you don't thank the Creator. So I am speaking gratitude because she is here as a leader in this community. All right. So what I did do was freeze this daggone banana because I wanted the smoothie to come out nice and cold. And I didn't put it out so it could thaw a bit. It doesn't take bananas that are frozen too long to thaw out. And usually when they do thaw out, they're super mushy and easy to blend or eat, however you want to do it. So I'm going to try to get this peel off of here. And I think this one good to go. Slide you in here.
Focus out.
Yep. It's beautiful.
whatever. You didn't do agave today, right?
Didn't do agave. That was one of those optional things. It wasn't. It's not optional on the menu. I mean, on the recipe. Um, but I think just for a little bit more sweetener. Um, Sometimes blueberries can be very bitter.
Yes.
Um,
And even when you get like, I don't know if you can hear me talking, but even when you get like bitter blueberries, again, that banana is a great sweetener. If you don't use banana and it's not as sweet as you like, you can use agave. So agave has a low GI, so basically it won't spike your sugar levels like other popular sweets, fructose, things of that nature. He has ice here. So what I will say is your blueberries are the frozen. One thing I will say is um, sometimes not only better on your teeth, but better on digestion is when you can eat foods, smoothies closer to room temperature. Your body processes it differently and sometimes better. But if you like it cold, you can use ice, or you can just simply get frozen fruit. It'll have the same. You'll get the same effect. Oh, chia seeds. Chia seeds, high in protein, very high in protein actually. So that adds to it without protein powder. High in fiber, and it's also extremely high in minerals.
any questions? Okay. Yes. I say yes. It's very sweet. So a bullet might be
It's Vince.
a bullet might be greater, or a ninja. Um, in reference to making sure this is mixed and mixed well. This blender is fairly new, but it's still effective and efficient.
Don't say anything bad about my blender, man.
Yeah, we're partial to this beautiful blender. You don't get it like this anymore. Be nice and nostalgic over this piece. Oh yes, yes. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ah. Look at that. Look at that.
You can put a lot of liquid in it. You can put a lot of liquid. Sometimes when it's super thick, you can add a little bit more water.
Give this another mix. How about that?
For capacity, the blender is good. Bullet is smaller unless you get the much larger one. And he made this super thick, by the way, so.
You know, it's a power smoothie, so you know it has to be thick to withstand stuff. Right. Let's keep it going.